Thanks very much, Catherine. First of all, I want to thank everybody who is involved in the debate. I also welcome the fact that the motion isn't being opposed. Genuinely, I think, Ministers, you've heard tonight that people do want to work constructively. And I think that is why we brought this motion forward, to highlight the issues. Everybody, and I imagine it was the same for government TDs, that you were inundated as well with people asking why they were excluded from the scheme. Nobody, I don't believe that anybody, no matter whether you're stand in opposition or government, wants to exclude anybody. So that's why we brought the motion forward. And I genuinely hope that there's sincerity when you say you want to work with us and you're not opposing the motion for that reason, because everybody wants a scheme that will suit and that's fit for purpose. And as I said earlier, this has to be the Dáil that finally deals with the issues, because we've been talking about them for so long and people are literally dying as we're debating them. And I do want to reiterate what I said earlier, Minister, that I know a lot of this was left at your door by predecessors that were probably happy enough to leave it there. But you do now have, in a way, an opportunity to actually deal with it properly and constructively and listen to people. The letter was mentioned, the letter that was written to yourself, on a number of occasions. And I do want to just read out, some of it was already read out, but I want to just read out these final 2 points. And I think that we should welcome that we have such experts that we can look to, particularly when this does come for the legislation and the pre-leg process. I'm hoping that people like this will feed into that and that we can base this on some of their work. And I think it's excellent, as Deputy Connolly said, that they actually had the courage to come out with this at the weekend. So they say, we are seeking a revision of the recommendations arising from the report with inclusion of best practice guidelines regarding neuroscience, childhood trauma and attachment. We are willing to work alongside you to see these changes through and want to meaningfully contribute to better practices rather than simply criticism from the sidelines. One final point, these women and children have experienced complex trauma and adversity in their lives. Yes, the money will help, there's no doubt about it, but there is also an opportunity to right a wrong, to empathise at a human level and seek to understand. We want to minimise the risk of secondary traumatisation and invalidation of survivors and their families, which is most likely where experiences are not heard, respected and redressed. Fundamentally, it is about mothers, children and families being seen, heard and having their lived experiences validated. Collectively, we can surely strive for this. And I think that perfectly sums up what is trying to be achieved by this motion. And it's obviously, these are people who are clinical psychologists, therapeutic social workers. They're obviously working with children and understand trauma very well. And I do think we should take their suggestions on board, although I think everybody would agree this has to be inclusive. It should include all survivors, and particularly around the medical card aspect, because an awful lot of women are re-traumatised by that they were really holding out and waiting for this enhanced medical card, and it's not right that they would be denied it. And I just want to reiterate in relation to interim payments, I do think that's something that should be looked at, and it is being examined in the 6 counties in relation to their report. So again, I just reiterate that I believe there's statements again Thursday on this, so we'll be discussing the topic again. Then I want to thank people for their support in relation to this, and I just want to, I suppose, send solidarity and support to all survivors that were sent to institutions, anybody that was born, their families, because I know that this re-traumatises them every time we talk about it, but it is important to raise the issues as well. And I just, I'm thinking of all of those people that I've met and that we all have met as well. So thanks very much, Catherine.